What's up, everybody? Welcome into another episode of Profit Picks. If you are new, we always start this show by being transparent. And yesterday was a good day for myself. Overall, I know I went 5-2. I'm trying to think about all of the winners. I know the losers were two first half bets I made. Thunder first half minus 9.5 was very annoying, and Spurs first half. Those were the two losers. And I'm just looking really quick for the winners. Pacers plus 4.5 was a winner. Heat minus six. What was it? Heat minus 6.5, and the under in that game were both winners. The Lakers minus 6.5. I got the early number. That was a winner, and I did take the Seahawks. So I think that's five right there. 5-2 overall. I was a little disappointed because I have a list right in front of me, Rob. That's 6 games long. They all won, and I did not add any of them. But it's a winning day. Hopefully, you had a good day as well.
I did. It was 3-1 yesterday. The only loser was the hook in the Seattle game. I got to the party way too late, laid 1.5. Seattle wins by 1. That was the loss. Otherwise, college football was good with Arkansas State last night, minus the 1. They get there. NBA, I had Rockets team total over 122.5. Got to overtime, got there pretty easily. And I had Knicks Pacers over 226, which just skimmed by and got the 227. And of course, the best bet I left here on the show yesterday. Just play it, right? Nuggets team total over. They get there again last night. They're like a 125 machine. Crank them up and let them hit the floor.
Set it and forget it. Nuggets gonna
Yeah,
score 122.
no doubt.
All right, let's get to it. Five NBA games. We will start at Heat and Celtics. And movement, it keeps moving. I guess maybe we have some injury stuff. I guess I should refresh as far as that's concerned. But open 6.5. I just saw 7.5. Now I'm seeing 6.5 or 7. Total keeps moving all around too. It did open 233.5. I'll call it 231 right now as far as the injury report. And let me actually refresh. Wiggins is questionable. Hero is out. Jovic, Larson both out. Davion Mitchell is probable. For Boston, looks like everybody is available. Um, this is the second of a back to back for this Heat team, but they did have some rest before that, right? I mean, I don't think they should be too exhausted. I don't think that was too hard of a game yesterday either. Um, the Celtics team has 3 days rest, and Celtics coming off back to back losses. I don't know if you remember, Rob, but I kept saying, I'm expecting some regression as far as the shooting from the Celtics, and we got it a little bit with their last 2 games. Now, they've had another 3 days off. I don't know. I feel like we could see some kind of rust still, and I don't know. I know the Heat are focused on playing defense. Um, that makes me want to bet under. The market's pushed it down a little bit, but I think we're going to continue to get a good defensive effort from the Miami Heat, regardless of anything else. And I lean towards the Heat because they're not satisfied after just winning one game. They were on a 5-game losing streak. They were embarrassed, and to start the year, they looked like a top team almost. Now they're playing, almost looking out. Like I think the Heat have a lot to play for. I don't think the Heat will be rusty because they just played yesterday. Maybe Heat early, but I do think Heat plus 6.5 is appealing as well. How do you view this one, Vino?
Yeah, because the scheduling spot was the first thing I looked at this morning. Skee, and it does favor Boston, obviously. 3 days rest off back-to-back losses. You're eager to get back out on the floor. It's a home game, et cetera. And Miami in the second of back-to-backs yesterday, I talked about there was a theory I read a couple of times that potentially Miami had just turned from a turtle type pace to a greyhound type pace too quickly, and they ran too hard the first quarter of the season. And when will they get their legs back underneath them? Bam Adebayo calling out the defense, et cetera, et cetera. So now we'll see them on a back to back. We'll see if they start scoring again here tonight. Boston, in all likelihood, should be ready for this game. However, jumping up to 7.5 now, I would have to say that's mostly due to the injury report that you just read. because that's the way NBA lines move.
It's
They
coming
move
back
up.
down now, though. I even see
You
sixes
see it
popping
coming
up.
back. So maybe we get a something else in that injury report, the way these things bounce at this time of day. I didn't play it. I would have a slight lean towards Boston because I think that the rest advantage does help them here. The regression, they were like 9-1 or something crazy against the spread. They had run that really big run and then came back to earth a little bit. We'll see what happens here, but I did have a slight lean towards Boston early. Did not play the game.
Heat or nothing for me, and under. And oh wait, I'm sorry, I looked at the wrong game. No sixes, 6.5 and sevens. My bad on that. But
Fake news.
yeah, my fault. I still lean Heat. I might get there with the Heat and the under, honestly, but I am going to get there with one or the other. One if not the other. I mean, all right. Sixers and Knicks opened up 5. Looks like 6 or 6.5 for New York. Total has not moved very much. Knicks on a back-to-back now. I mean, damn. Spot gets worse and worse for them each game, huh? Won the cup, had to fly to Indiana. Now got to fly to New York on a back-to-back. Hart probable, Towns probable, McBride and Shamit out. I mean, it's just a spot versus recent performance. I mean, versus season long. Knicks have been great at home. This is one of those games where it's too much going on, I think, for me to bet this one, Rob Veno. Anything from you on Sixers and Knicks?
Well, very much unlike Steve Kerr, who we talked about yesterday, Mike Brown actually set this back-to-back up fairly nice by resting Towns and Hart last night. So you're going to get them at full strength here. They didn't go in that game to combine with the rest. So maybe New York's spot won't be as bad fatigue-wise as it could be coming back from winning the Cup. On Tuesday, we talked about it, fly to Indiana. I think we both agreed Indiana was a live dog last night. You hit on it. I got there with the total. So I think the Knicks will probably be okay. The minutes last night, Brunson and Anunoby, 34 each. It's not overly excessive for them. It was a tight game, though, so those minutes were more taxing than just your normal minutes because they had to still win that ball game, and I think it was Brunson who won it. But I don't know that the spot would be that bad. The question is can Philadelphia take advantage? Tyrese Maxey back into the lineup. He had been missing for a while. I don't know about or I didn't hear you say whether or not Embiid is going to play. Embiid had come up.
I think he just got listed out.
Okay.
Yeah, Embiid is out. Embiid out, Oubre out, Watford out.
Whenever he's out, it just picks up the pace for Philadelphia. And I know the Knicks are slow, but I'll say it again. I say it all the time. They're slow, but they're efficient. They should score on Philadelphia's defense. And Philly will try to run at the Knicks, who are in this back-to-back situation. So it could be a possible overplay for me. No firm decision yet, but I'll be looking toward over in that contest, Knicks-Philly.
It makes sense. I can understand that for sure. Bulls and Cavs, we just saw this the other day. Now we have Cavs -7 with a total of 240.5. I was about to say Davion Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell, questionable. Merrill out, Mobley out, Nance out, Strus out. Bulls, Collins probable, DeSumo probable, Trey Jones probable. I mean, it's the same thing for me. I can't lay with this Cavs team. They stink. And until they figure out or make some trades, do something, I'm not interested in laying with them right now. As bad as the Bulls have been, they still were able to, do what they need to do versus the Cavs. I think they can do it again. Just fade of the Cavaliers. Not that I don't want to fade the Bulls, but if the Bulls are laying 7, hey, we can look at the Cavaliers. But the Cavs are the ones laying the points tonight. So it'll be Bulls. And if I was doing a prop, it would be Jalen Tyson again. He's in the starting lineup. I mean, it worked out just like we talked about. Either his props over points, rebounds, and Hunter. I'm not sure if you'll get the same number since it's known he's off the bench now, but his unders. Do you know anything from you here on Bulls and Cavs?
Yeah, I feel basically the same way, Ski. I think I would isolate Chicago team total. There's not going to be a lot of defense in this game. Chicago got to like 127 the other night at home. Here, their number is 116 and a half. You're asking them to get to 117 against a Cavs team that plays no defense. I'll just add one thing here real quick because it was in my notes and then you said it. You said unless they make some trades or something, and all of a sudden you see all these things circulating. I mean, the Cavs GM comes out yesterday and says everybody's available other than Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley. Otherwise, they're the two untouchables. And the article went on to say that they've been fielding calls for their players for like the last 2.5 weeks. So I don't know what's going on there, but it's not great. You can't bet on them because we don't know what's going on there. All we know is what we see as far as ATS wins and losses are concerned. And it's just not good right now for Cleveland. So for me, if there's one thing Chicago does, it's score the basketball fairly decently. I think if I were to play, I'd look at over 116 and a half their team total.
All right, I can get with that. Spurs and Hawks. This one open -2 for San Antonio. Looks like 3 or 3.5. Total came down from 241. Looks like as low as 238.5. You have Porzingis out, Trae Young out for the Spurs. I don't see anybody on the injury report, at least not yet. The Spurs are on the Dante also out for the Hawks. The Spurs also are on a back-to-back, so you could get people throughout the day. And I'm thinking Wemby's not going to play here. Honestly, I mean, he just came back. He's on a minutes limit. Why is he going to play in a back-to-back? He could, but that's just my line of thinking. And if he doesn't play, well, we know how that affects the Spurs defense. And the Hawks, I like how they've been playing lately. As far as like sharing the ball and just like the way they've been playing on offense has been really good. Whether it's Trae Young in or out, I don't really care. I think they'll be able to score. And when both teams are unrested like this, I feel like that affects the defense more than the offense. So I disagree with the market pushing it down. I like this one over. What do you think here?
And again, it probably gets pushed down due to Trae Young, right? He probably wouldn't go in back to backs tonight, right? I don't know if you had him listed as out or not. But
He's out.
It was crazy last night, right? Charlotte makes 18 threes in the first half. They scored 80 points against this team. And Atlanta scored 69 themselves. And so that first half was absolutely nuts. I don't know. Generally my thought would be, Skee, that's embarrassing to give up 80 and a half, to give up 18 threes in one half. It's just embarrassing. And you would bounce back with a good defensive effort. But I don't know that I've seen enough defensively out of the Hawks. I do agree totally with what you said about the way the Hawks play offense, even without Trae, because they got used to playing without Trae and still played pretty good offense. Last night he had 10 assists, but those numbers can be made up for. And if in fact Wembanyama didn't go, I'd really be on over here because the number will get pushed down even further if he doesn't go. It won't be 238.5 anymore. It'll be 234.5 or whatever, however hard they hit it. So I'm going to wait it out and see because San Antonio obviously has scoring threats on that side. If I had any belief that Atlanta could take what happened to them last week and respond defensively, I might not be looking over, but I don't know that they're capable of it. I really don't. They haven't shown us that. Even though I thought they have some good defensive players, Dyson Daniels must feel like he's on an island out there by himself.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna see too much defense tonight, honestly. And who knows? Maybe those guys want to go out there and say we were winning before Trey showed up. Shit, let's go out there and show them we can win again. Get blown out when this guy comes back in. We'll see how that one shakes out. OKC and Timberwolves opened up 8.5. Looks like 7 now for OKC. Total went up from 229 to 233 or 233.5. Let me switch over to these injuries. Clark questionable, Ant questionable, no Conley. Hardenstein actually probable. Jalen Williams, not J Dub, is questionable. This one's a little bit tough for me, Rob. I'm gonna just pass this one to you first here. Thunder and Wolves.
Yeah, I can see where you were probably frustrated with the first half ticket last night, Skee, because that third quarter here, Oklahoma City did what Oklahoma City does. I'm watching that game last night. In the third quarter, they're up 5. And San Antonio, the Clippers had just gotten back-to-back buckets. And then 3.5 minutes later, they're up by 23. It's like they just hit them with a sledgehammer, and that was the end of the game right then and there. By the time the third quarter ended, you knew it was finished business. They outscored the Clippers 76-50 in the second and third quarters, win by 26. So I guess moral of the story is we just don't know when the OKC explosions are going to come, even though first half, their numbers, their margin, plus minus is really good. Last night, it happened to come in the third quarter. They could probably do the same to Minnesota if they wanted to. However, I think I saw Anthony Edwards was at shoot around this morning. Whether or not Ant plays might make a difference here to how I think having Hartenstein back for Oklahoma City is huge, where rim protection is concerned, because when they have Chet and Hartenstein on the floor in the same game, it's a pretty tough duo. I don't really have a good way to look at it as of yet, Skee, but I would think that Oklahoma City, again, they're so deep they don't tire. I don't know that we could I don't know what their back-to-back record is. I didn't look it up this morning, but back-to-backs don't seem to phase that team whatsoever.
They're actually 1-3 ATS on a back-to-back. Not to say that they don't win. I mean, obviously we know they can win. It's just
this is a low number for them too, 7. They're usually laying 14.5, 12,
right.
18.
One thing I can't ignore. I mean, I feel like this could be one where you miss a bet one time. Sometimes it's just that wrong day. You got to bet it again. I feel like this could be one of those days, Rob, where that OKC first half, you got to go back to it. You're getting a discount because it's a back-to-back. OKC first half on the back-to-back. I had it right here. Let's see. They're 2-2, nothing crazy. But, I mean, looking at the Timberwolves, they've been slow starters for a while now. I mean, they've covered 1 of their last 10 first halves. It's another one where, I mean, I don't know why I can't remember. The Timberwolves, they played the Grizzlies on the 17th. Okay. Yeah, I think I could absolutely see another slow start from the Timberwolves. The first half is 4, could even 3.5 at a couple shops. That's like the cheapest OKC first half you'll see.
Yeah, you don't see that hardly ever.
I don't know, Vino. I feel like I might have to go back one more time.
I tell you what, I'm the king of that. I will bang my head into the brick wall until I get it right. I'm telling you right now. So I totally admire that. And isn't it crazy? I'm just thinking in my head, not that there's any substance to it at all. I'm just saying this as a matter of fact. Is it a Minnesota thing? Remember how the Lynx would always be slow starters in the first half? Like the Lynx were a second half team. It's like up in Minnesota, they don't wake up until the second half.
That is a good call out. The Lynx were definitely second half team. That's the NBA, So I feel like we did a pretty good job. What time is it? 11:14. Guess we have a little bit of time. We can talk a little bit of football here. Let's see what we got. Well, I mean, we usually do. What we usually do every week. I guess we'll look for that to start. You have Chargers and Dallas. Dallas minus 2.5 was the opener. Looks like 2. Let me ask you, just refresh my memory right here. Dallas, they made a trade and they have a solid defensive line now, right?
Personnel-wise, they do, yes.
Chargers offensive line. Now, you know how I always talk about them. They cannot pass protect. They can run block. Are they going to be able to run on this Cowboys team? Cowboys pretty much, all but eliminated. Chargers pretty much have made the playoffs. I guess they still could win the division, but to see this line, Cowboys as a favorite, I feel like it's pretty telling. And I just think that the Cowboys, I think that their offense can have success against the Chargers defense. And I just wonder how well the offensive line is going to hold up for the Chargers in this one. I would not bet the Chargers. It'll be Dallas or nothing for me. What do you think, Vino?
Yeah, where Dallas is concerned, they'll know their fate, right? Philly plays the day before. If Philadelphia beats Washington, Dallas is done. They can't make the playoffs. If Philadelphia loses, then maybe you get a little bit more of a inkling to play the Dallas side. I don't think it's going to matter, Skee, whether Philadelphia wins or loses. I think Dallas is going to go all out in this game at home against LA. And I kind of agree with you in the fact that as solid as the Chargers defense is, Dallas basically can move the ball on anybody when they're right. And they're pretty much right at this point in time. The offensive line is real good. George Pickens has not been the same since CD Lamb came back. Little moody. He's not getting the ball as much, etc. But I still think they can move it. And I don't know how the Chargers, honestly, I don't know how they do it. Justin Herbert, every time I look up the last 2 weeks, is absolutely running for his life, yet they win games. They can run the football. Vidal and Amari and Hampton have been pretty good at running the football, even though Dallas has improved in that area. I think they might be able to start there. And maybe Justin Herbert's hand, it's been like 3 weeks now. Maybe that left hand is in a little bit better shape at this point in time. Dallas's defense still doesn't strike me as one that can stop anybody. I might look toward the over in that one. It's kind of a low price where Dallas is concerned, 49.5. Chargers should be able to score points in that game. We'll see. But as for the side, I just don't believe that the Philadelphia result is going to affect how Dallas plays either way. I think they're going to go all out in this one. It's not their season. I don't know if it's their season home finale or not, but I think there's a bad taste in their mouth from last week losing on this field.
Yeah, I would be on the Cowboys, and then we have your Broncos and the Jaguars. I mean, he keeps getting me, man. Bo Nix got away with another fast one. I'm just I want to. I'm not a believer. I'm not a believer. Then I say that, and I don't really like Jags and Trevor Lawrence either. But you get another low spread here. I mean, I guess it did go to 3.5. It went through the key number. Is it Denver team total overtime, Ravino, or what are you doing with this one?
Well, the problem for me with Jacksonville, it seems like Jacksonville is a runaway bandwagon this week. And we both talked to a lot of people. Everybody I talked to, Jacksonville. Denver off a huge win. They won't bounce back. Jacksonville's so improved. Liam Cohen, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The problem for me is the entire left side of their offensive line might be out here. And you don't want your left guard and your left tackle who protect Trevor Lawrence not there against this pass rush. Trevor Lawrence could just as easily, do the Cinderella and turn back into a pumpkin under pressure that Denver can apply. So that love affair could go away real quick if, in fact, they don't play. At worst, they're banged up against a really good pass rush. I'm with you. You know how I feel about this Denver offense. And I had to admit, I'm texting with a couple of people last week. I said, you know what? I got to say it. He looks really good today against a really good defense. And some will say that, well, Micah Parsons got hurt. Denver did have 245 yards worth of offense before Micah Parsons left the game. I think it was 146 after that. But Knicks made some really good throws. I don't know if it's sustainable, Skee. I really don't against good teams. But they have themselves in the driver's seat right now. We shall see. This could be a game where it stays. I don't know. I didn't bet it because I don't have a good feel. I was on another show this week where I said potentially an underplay, but you know how my mind works. And I kind of think of every reason not to play under. This game has been bet up pretty substantially, 43.5 to 47. That runs through a lot of key numbers where totals are concerned, through 44, through 45, and up to 47. You only get a push now. So value may be gone where that's concerned.
All right, let's talk a little Saturday. I mean, I feel like, is it this easy, Ravino? I feel like it is, honestly. Green Bay, no Parsons, the offense just sucks. Bears just keep rolling. Is it just Bears to win?
I tell you what, the money tells us that, right? 3.5 or 3 one way, all the way to Bears 1.5 now, 4.5 point move. You know what? I'm probably going to be on the under here, Skee 46.5, because Ben Johnson, the new head coach for Chicago, just has shown us that they love to run the football and overpower you with that offensive line. And Green Bay, as you mentioned, now without Micah Parsons, a lot easier to run against, a lot easier to pass protect against. I don't know that I trust Caleb to be throwing the ball all over the lot, but I do think Chicago is going to play a ball control style here. And for Green Bay, like you said, it's not just Micah Parsons. It's the fact that the right tackle, Zach Tom, is hurt. It's the fact that Josh Jacobs is hurt. It's the fact that Christian Watson got hurt. And on the other side, DeAndre Swift, your lead running back for the Bears, out. Roma Dunze, out. There's too many skill position people out of this game for me to think it's going to be high scoring in Chicago in December. So I think I'm going to be on under 46.5, plus a divisional game, which kind of has a playoff atmosphere to it because these two teams are still fighting for NFC North supremacy.
A rare under from Mr. Rob Veno on that one. All right. Let's see. Going down the list here. Miners. There's a lot of games to talk about this week, honestly.
Yeah, you're in action.
Baltimore and New England opened up -1, went to -3. I mean, Baltimore has to keep winning every single week. New England, still to be determined how good of a team they are. But I think I trust Baltimore's defense more than New England. And I know they're going to play desperate. I don't necessarily trust Lamar. But I think the Ravens are the right side in that game, Rob. Any thoughts from you?
Well, my first question was going to be, do you get any more Lamar DMs constantly? Because
I don't get any of those.
As a guy who does not play fantasy football, I mean, I'm in a league because it's family run. And Lamar's one of my quarterbacks, and there hasn't been a good game out of him in 5 weeks. Their offense, Skee, was like pulling teeth to score points last week against Cincinnati, arguably the worst defense in the NFL, and they got to 24. And because they shut Joe Burrow out, I guess people think they've turned the corner. I'm not so sure. It's funny, when you and I were talking in the beginning of the year, we didn't trust New England's pass defense, right? They were getting passed on by everybody. And now the run defense becomes the weak spot. The pass defense numbers are getting a little better simply because teams like Buffalo figured out we can hand off against these guys. They've got a lot of injuries on that side of the ball, and you have Derrick Henry. So to your point, Baltimore might be able to grind out a point spread cover here. I don't trust them offensively, though, to win by, margin. Not that this is any huge margin, but if you have to win by 4, it's difficult to do. I have no faith in Lamar in that offense this year. Something's wrong with him. Obviously, he's injured a little bit, not 100%. Sunday night game, I don't know. In New England, off an embarrassing loss, maybe they show you some effort. We shall see. I just don't have a good opinion on that game.
I'll say that the Lions seem like they should steamroll the Steelers. The Steelers don't really have a good run defense, don't have a good defense at all. And Lions, I just think they can name their number in that game. So can you talk me off of that?
No, because remember how you're going to get back up on that OKC horse? Listen, I had Miami's team total Monday night, and they just couldn't expose anything about that Pittsburgh defense, which is just there to be exposed, especially without TJ Watt. Detroit's team total is 28.5. It was the first bet I made this week. They're going to get to 30 against this team. Everything Miami couldn't do, they'll do. And if they don't pressure Jared Goff, if TJ Watt can't go again and they can't get to him with the running game that they have with Gibbs and Montgomery, I mean, to me, it was, again, we like logic school, and maybe it's too simple, but 28.5 against this defense, I just, sign me up.
I'm in agreement. Last one, Tampa Bay and Carolina. That's pretty much, I mean, they do play 2 more times, but pretty important game, right? Teams tied up for the division. who can we trust? I mean, I don't trust Bryce Young. I don't trust Bryce Young. I'm just gonna say that you got a Bucks team who, yes, they've looked bad lately, but they've gotten a lot healthier, right? You got Mike Evans back out there, Bucky Irvin's been back out there, and getting back up to that healthier offensive side at least. I would trust them and Baker more than I trust Bryce Young and the Panthers. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I really hope Mike Evans, he still got that question mark next to him for this week. What a great game he plays last week, and then he has to leave because he gets a little bit banged up in that game. I didn't see if he practiced today. Hopefully he did. If he did, I trust points in this game. Skee to separate Carolina's home results and road results. Kind of paint two different stories here. They've been able to score at home. They've been able to beat a couple of teams they shouldn't have beat at home, including the Rams. So I like them on that particular field to score points, especially since what's really alarming to me about Tampa Bay is they used to be one of the best run defenses constantly in the NFL, and then you watch them now and they just get run over. I mean, Bijan Robinson in Atlanta moved the ball at will with Kirk Cousins, and it's kind of like, where'd that defense go? But I do think Baker is now, I think he's about 4 weeks removed from that shoulder injury, should be better. Like you mentioned, Bucky Irving, third game back, should be pretty good now. Tristan Wirfs, I don't think he played last week, probably going to go here, left tackle. That helps. And if you can include Evans, I think they're going to score. So to me, I thought the total was too low. Good weather because it's Tampa and I don't see any rain in the forecast. But 45 and a half in a Tampa Carolina game, that should be, it should land at least on 47.
All right, good stuff. We're gonna wrap it up with that. And I'm not gonna put everything up, but I will put this up because it's changed and it's the time you should think about it at least. Weekend Warrior is changed to now you'll get every play Saturday and Sunday across all sports, just $49. So good way to get involved in NFL, college sports, NBA, whatever you want to get involved with for the weekend. That's a good way to do it. And all the usual specials that we do have. Um, Vino, if there's anything else you would like to promote, feel free. And if you have a best bet for the show, we'd love to hear it.
I think promotions are good. Ski. Obviously, college football playoff starts tonight with Alabama, Oklahoma, and then you get the remainder of those games tomorrow afternoon. So, huge college football weekend, weekend warrior pass. Probably a good way to go here with all this football going on. Um, wow. I can't give a basketball best bet. Simply, I haven't played one. I don't know that I'll have a client release. Maybe later I will as we sort through these injuries and whatnot. But I could go back to football for the viewers here, Ski, real quick, and just say what I said earlier. I think Detroit is almost like legalized stealing at 28 and a half team total. So I'll leave that as a best bet for the show. I know we don't often use NFL as best bets, but we do talk about it here on Profit Picks. So I'm going to go Detroit team total over 28 and a half.
Yeah, I like that. I haven't played too much, and I only have the one play I put up as my best bet on Wager Talk, so it's just not fair to give it out. Um, so I can't leave with a best bet for today, but I will throw this up there one more time. I did forget. You can lock in my NBA season for 4.99 if you would like to. I'm up, I think, 180 something units since December 2021, and on a nice basketball run right now. What did I say to start the show? 71 and 44. So I'll be making plays throughout the day. Just haven't made enough to share right this second. And that's the way I've been having the success with that run. So I don't want to mess it up. All right, Vino. Always enjoy and appreciate you taking the time to break these games down with me. Everybody in the chat, we appreciate you all as well. We'll be back again Monday. So best of luck on all your action, and we'll catch you all then.